Jennifer and Emily.
Hi.
And we are from Amputee Aid. I'm the executive director for Amputee Aid, and Emily is our social worker, right?
Yep.
And welcome to another session of the Amputee Show. The Amputee Show is a monthly podcast that we present through Amputee Aid, where we do a deeper dive, we like to say, on topics and themes and guest speakers that we've had on our weekly webinar, Life Amplified. If you are not watching Life Amplified, where have you been? We've been right here, right, Emily?
Yep, every week.
Every week, every Wednesday at 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Zoom and TikTok. We post every Friday to YouTube. We would love to have you. If you can join us live, please do. We try to keep it fun and light and entertaining, but also very informative, right, Emily?
Yeah.
We do giveaways some of the time. We laugh all of the time. And we present a lot of guest speakers from around the country to provide real information for folks in the limb loss and limb difference community and their supporters like us. Now, during that hour, we try to get in as much information as we can, but sometimes we want to take a deeper dive and have a longer conversation. And that's what we do here at the Amputee Show, right? Mm-hmm. Now, in January for our podcast, we introduced our theme for the year, which is Community Stronger Together. And Community Stronger Together is all about uplifting the entire community for folks with limb loss and limb difference and their supporters and allies and healthcare providers and the entire community. And as part of that theme for this year with our agency, Amputee Aid, we are telling your story. And we are using our podcast to share stories of folks in the community with the goal of allowing them to share their perspective and hoping that other people will learn from them. And Latracer, you are our first guest for this year's theme. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited.
Excited.
Nice.
You're setting the bar super high. No pressure, right? No pressure. Everyone who watches our webinars and our podcasts know we like to do things unscripted, have fun, a little off the cuff some of the time, but always with good taste.
Yeah.
So no pressure. We're just talking, but we are talking about the most important thing today, which is you and your story. So we are very, very grateful that you have been agreed to be our first guest telling your story, and we're just very honored to have you here. So thank you for doing that for us. And although we try to keep things unscripted, we did write down some questions, and so you'll see some white paper some of the time because, Latracer, you have such an interesting story that we want to make sure that we pull out as many pieces as we can as we go along, because we think a lot of people will learn from you based on the experiences that you've had your entire life. And not all of it has been easy or pleasant, right?
Right.
Yeah. So can we start with, let's start with some easy things. First of all, tell us where you're from. What part of the country are you from?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
You're from Baltimore, Maryland. And you are an amputee, right?
Yes.
Okay. Left arm. And you are a congenital amputee, is that right?
Yeah.
From birth.
Congenital.
So for some people might not understand what that terminology is. Can you tell us more about what it means to be a congenital amputee?
It's basically like when that's what they told me, the umbilical cord stopped the circulation and it stopped the arm from growing. So we're left with just this little nail that I got here.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it. So in other words, from birth, from the moment you were born, you have been an amputee. Yeah. And so, in some ways, your perspective is unique because you haven't had a lifestyle with two full-grown limbs for your arms. You've always known this lifestyle, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But it hasn't always been easy. True?
No.
And that's what we'd love to hear more about. So tell us more about, maybe we can start there. Tell us about your childhood and what that was like growing up as someone with a congenital arm amputation.
My childhood was pretty okay until I got into my teens.
I see.
Well, I don't remember much from my childhood that much, but I remember some stuff like me riding my first bike, me getting on the slide for the first time and falling.
Okay.
My mom, she was trying to like help me, like make me feel equal as the other kids and not make me feel like I was different.
Did you have any siblings growing up?
Yeah, I had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. My sisters are deceased.
Your sister. So growing up, did any of your other siblings have a amputation or any?
I was the only one.
And you mentioned that your mom treated you like the other kids. And did that include in your household too? If they were doing something, you were doing the same thing, or were you treated differently?
No, not really much different, but sometimes I was treated a little bit different. I think that didn't start until my teenage life.
Your teenage life. Yeah. And I want to go there next. But I'm curious for viewers who might be watching our podcast, who maybe they have children who are amputees. For you as a little kid growing up, did you know that you were different? Like, did that?
No, I didn't notice until I was 10.
Okay.
Because I was like, maybe my arm will come back. I didn't understand it really.
Yeah.
But my mom, she got prosthetic then, and it wasn't that comfortable, so I took it off.
I see. And what about this? Like even when you went to school, you didn't use it?
I used it sometime, but I got picked on a lot because it was like, oh, look at your hand. You have a hook, because I had the hook hand.
Got it.
The hand with the 2 little things that open and close.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing ever. I think that's what kind of made them bully me more.
Yeah.
That I had the hook. But they didn't have technology hands until now. I wish they would have had them when I was born, because they probably could have saved a lot of the bullying.
Yeah. And let's go there, Latracer, if you're comfortable with this, because one thing that we were aware of in interviewing you for our podcast is as you were getting into your preteen and teen life, bullying became a very problematic thing. Yeah. Could you tell us some more about that?
In middle school, they used to be mean to me and try to fight me and be mean and mark me and different stuff they used to do.
When you say mark,
and then high school, putting their arm in their shirt, just little ignorant things. But I never really understood until one day I was like, I just wanted to ask everybody a question in the cafeteria, why do y'all choose me out of all the kids in here? Because I was in special needs class, and so I was in special needs at 6th grade, and then I got pushed to 8th grade because I was too advanced for 6th grade. Mm-hmm. So that kind of speeded up I didn't have to really go through nothing in 7th grade because I got skipped.
I see. So you have this, you're kind of describing this defining moment to us where in one way you're in special education classes, but also you look different. Kids are picking on you. They're mocking you by putting their arm in their sleeve to look like you. And you have this moment where you ask at the lunchroom, why, of all the kids here, are you picking on me? Tell us more about that moment.
I was upset. I was mad.
Yeah. And did any of the kids respond to you?
A few of them.
A few. I can hear in your voice kind of a hesitation that it seems like it's even today still a painful memory for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm grateful. I think I speak for both of us when I say that you're willing to be that vulnerable and transparent with people, because parents who have kiddos that are that age, or even kids who are watching our podcast who are experiencing this, need to know, that A, it's not okay, and B, those feelings are very real. They're raw, but they're real.
And that they can also last a long time.
They can
not
last
just
a long
right
time.
then. You could be dealing with it for a very long time.
I'm almost 30, and the feelings are still like it happened yesterday.
Yeah. And, so if there are, I hope one of the takeaways people have from watching this session is if you are a parent, you need to make sure your kids don't act like that. Bullying is never okay, and those effects really linger a long time. Now, I don't want you to make you tell us how old you are, but it's been a while since you were in middle school. You're 29. Okay. So, 20-ish years later, 15, 20 years later, that's still very present feeling. At some point, if you're willing to stick on this topic for people, because I think people will be interested in hearing this, the bullying didn't stop after that day in the lunchroom. Could you tell us more about kind of what happened?
The bullying, got worse because the same kids that I was in middle school with, I was with high school. But in high school, it was 3 girls that bullied me. And they got picky with me, throwing my stuff in the trash can, pushing me into the locker. And I was just like, can y'all just leave me alone? But they wouldn't. And one day after school, they was ganging up on me. And it was like, are you ready to get your whip? And I'm like, why y'all want to keep fighting on me? Y'all know I can't defend myself. So I was just like, sorry.
That's okay. No, take your time. And thank you again for sharing your story.
I was just like, why me,
Yeah.
But I ended up having to defend myself. So
I see. I want to pause there and talk about that in a moment. I'm just wondering, as you're sharing this experience, if you ever felt like you could tell your mom or your siblings what was going on. Did you ever tell them what you were experiencing?
Yeah, but I don't think they really understand.
It's probably hard for people who aren't actually living it to understand how bad it can be.
Yeah.
I hope people watching this understand a little bit more how bad it can be. So there was this moment where, you dealt with it in middle school, you dealt with it in high school, and you reached a breaking point, I would call it.
Yeah, so I had a prosthetic then, and it was in my book bag, and I took it out, and I hit one of the girls with it, and I got in trouble. So,
how old were you at that time?
17.
17. And, although we don't condone violence, we don't want to support violence, I would say that's probably a natural reaction for someone to have after they've been bullied.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so do you mind telling us, when you got in trouble, what did that look like for you? Were you out of school for a period of time?
Yeah, I was out of school. I didn't almost graduate.
Wow. We were just chit-chatting and wondering if you would be okay with us maybe grabbing some of your TikTok videos and kind of putting them in during the podcast, or highlighting your user handle or something.
I can send you some good ones.
Yeah.
I have different type of videos, and I don't want to.
Yeah, we send us the ones that you want,
Yeah.
And then it would be nice because Nick and Lucho can kind of edit it so it looks all cool in there. Okay, so
Yeah.
All right, okay. Are you ready to get into the swing of things?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So for you, Lucho and Nick on the recording, now we're getting back. So I'm wondering if you had this moment, this breaking point when you're 17, and you defended yourself, and although as we said, that might have been a natural reaction, it had some very serious consequences for you.
Yeah.
And so tell us more about that.
I almost didn't graduate. My dad got in trouble because the little girl family was complaining, and I ended up going to prom, and she still was kind of picking after it, but they was laughing at her, so she got to feel what I felt. And then years later, I seen her, and she have a baby that has cancer, and it took his right.
Oh,
and
wow.
So
really, did you say anything to her, or even announce yourself, or did you just kind of?
I was so upset, but she kind of remembered me more than me remembering her.
Really?
She was like, you remember what you did? And I'm thinking, I'm still really angry at the time. So I was just just leave me alone before I react again. Because, I felt like I didn't do enough because you still nagging, you still trying to. But she was like, can you come here real quick to my stroller? And when I seen her baby,
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, now you will get to feel how I felt when you were bothering me.
Yeah.
And, like, it was nothing towards her baby. It was so more as her. Like, now you get to be a mom to a child, that's special, that's going to need attention, that's going to need help, that's going to need, that's going to see other kids like himself, which is like me,
Yes.
going through people and bullying him. So now you get the experience what my parents had to go through, having to keep coming up to school because y'all bullied me.
Yeah. In many ways, that child is going to need the compassion that she wasn't willing to give to you when the two of you were kids. She's going to need to give it now to her own child. In addition to compassion, Latracer, what would you tell parents they should know or do, to prevent bullying in school like this? What do you
I feel like they should sit their children down and talk to their children about them difference and people that are special, and tell their kids if they see someone that's in need of help to lend them a hand.
Yeah. Now, you're a mom yourself, right?
Yes.
Can we talk about that? Because you moved on from this bullying and some disciplinary issues. You eventually graduated. Is that right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. And we'll talk about what happened in the middle in a little bit here, but we should say, for everyone's benefit, you are a mom, and it sounds like you raise your kids that way.
3.
A mom of 3. Okay, what are their ages?
3,
3,
5, and 8.
Okay.
Nice.
Lots of energy in your house then, because you got lots of.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so tell us, as an amputee parent, are there any, I don't want to say challenges because this has been your whole life, but how do you see?
In the beginning, there were challenges with my first daughter because, like, I was a new mom. I didn't know what to do. I was scared when I first had her because, like, they tell all of the amputee, like, people, like, your children could, like, it could pass down sometimes. So I was a little scared because my daughter, her leg was, like, bunched up, I guess hiding, and I was a little scared about that.
Okay.
But when she came out, it was like, is this really real? I'm really a mom.
Yeah.
And then bringing her home and having to, like, tend to her, it was, like, frustrating. But my mom was, like, supportive at the time. She was trying to support me. But that stroller, I had, like, the worst experience with the stroller in the first month of being a mother. I was trying to, like, learn ways that I could push a stroller with just one hand. So, like, sometime I would tie my sleeve to the stroller
Sure.
to, like, help me guide it more. So it would be like I had 2 hands.
Yeah.
And then one day I just was outside practicing while my daughter was taking a sleep, and I kept, like, pushing the stroller, like, just being patient. And sometimes my arm would slip off the stroller, but eventually I got a hold of it. But when I first took her to her first doctor's appointment, the stroller kind of slid off of my hand and went, not in the street, but almost to the street. But people was like, oh my God, help her, help her. But when I got on a bus, it was, like, so hard being a mom, having to have a stroller and a car seat.
Yeah.
So it was a lot in the beginning. But with my second kid, it was nothing.
Because you had already gone through it.
Was a little weird at first because I didn't really want to hurt my daughter. So I just learned to, like, comfortably, like, a comfortable way to change her so I wouldn't hurt her. And I would cover my arm with a sock so I can make sure I wouldn't stab her.
Sure.
Like with the hole right here.
With the nail piece.
So I would put a sock on to, like, while I bend her leg backward so she wouldn't, like, feel no stab,
Yeah.
And then I, like, wiped her, but I put the pamper underneath her before I take the other one out.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't do that, but then I learned over time how to change her and make it easy. After a while, it became easy.
Easy. And Latracer, it sounds like these are parenting skills that you learned on your own how to adapt. Like, the hospital wasn't coming in showing you how to do things as a parent with one arm. You had to teach yourself.
they was keeping her in, like, keeping my babies in the NICU.
Okay.
But I was like, I understand, like, y'all want to help, but I want to feel like a mother.
Yeah.
So they was like, okay, if you feel like you're ready, then we'll put the baby in the room with you. And then I was just making stuff work. I was like looking at YouTube and just trying stuff out while I was in the room with the baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm kind
Like,
of
I did a ponytail was the worst.
tell us
Because I
about
had
that.
gel all over my stump, like, and I was crying, like, why can't I get the ponytail in? Why is it so frustrating? And then my mom, like, I'm gonna teach you how to do a ponytail. And then once she taught me how to do ponytail, I was trying to learn how to part, and I never learned how to braid or anything, just ponytails. That's all I know how to do.
You know, I'm kind of reminded of the statement you made earlier about when you were a little kid, your mom treated you like the other little kids. It is kind of like when you're a mom, like, I'm going to do it like all the other moms. I'll figure out, but I don't want special treatment. So hairdos, diapers, whatever, using a stroller. Now, at their ages, 3, 5, and 8, are your kids aware that mom is different from the other moms and dads? Okay. And how do you...
My daughter, she had, like, bullying 2 years ago in school, where kids was like, your mom had one arm, and, you know, I had to go talk. The principal was very understanding, and they told me whenever I want to, like, speak to the kids at the school, I could come and do that, you know, like, talk about amputee, you know, me being an amputee mom and how it is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But my daughter, she was upset in the beginning, but after a while, she got used to it. She was just like, so what? My mom got one arm. So what?
Yeah. Yeah. So what?
But it kind of made me upset. I'm like, I knew it was coming, but I didn't think it was so soon.
Right.
Like, I didn't that they would do it so soon. So it broke my heart in the beginning. But then after a while, and I also took her to my prosthetist appointments with me.
You do.
Just see other kids. And we actually met another little girl. I don't remember where she was from. I think she said Nigeria. But my daughter ended up playing with her. And she was telling my daughter she was trying to do the exercise, whatever that thing is. The exercise leg thing.
Okay. Now, would you do your kids, sometimes they see you with a prosthetic arm and sometimes they don't. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they ever, especially maybe the younger ones in particular, are they ever, like, scared that mom doesn't have her arm on, or is that normal for them?
They're pretty cool with it. They actually be excited when I move the hand.
They are. So, and that's, you know, and we've talked about this in other sessions, Latracer, about kids are curious. They're going to ask questions. But if you treat it like it's normal, they will treat it like it's normal. They only know what you teach them. And it sounds like one of the tips, I guess, that you might give to other parents is take your kids to your prosthetist appointment so they can it normalizes the situation. What other tips would you give to parents?
I would say, like, have that talk with them about people that are different and teach them about limb loss and teach them about your condition and what else? That they're not alone. They have support.
Yeah. Or as my grandma would say, everything is figure-outable, including how to do Pampers and ponytails. You can figure it out.
It was so hard. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I cried so. And the first child, I cried. I was, like, mentally unstable then because I'm like, I'm a mother. My daughter's hair started to grow, so I had to, like, do her hair. So I'm not gonna lie, it took me an hour to get a ponytail in, but now it don't take me that long. But in the beginning, it took me like 3 hours just to get that ponytail right.
But you didn't.
And then also, I looked at YouTube too. They have videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
But not amputee videos, but videos of people doing ponytails. So I just put my own little
spin on it, so to speak.
Yeah.
Now, if you're okay with this, I want to kind of take us back a little bit because there was a period between graduation from high school and you becoming a mom where things were not that pleasant. And that's part of the story that you wanted to share.
Yeah, I mean, things was, like, rough because I really was, like, I really felt like I wasn't really getting like much attention as I feel like once I got a little older. So I just like stayed away and I ran away from home at 13 because I felt like I'm not nobody. I didn't really fit in the home for real. Like, you know how everybody's just getting along. It was just too much going on. Too many different people having their different feelings, which shouldn't have had feelings, but they did. And just it was a lot going on. Then I lost my sister. I mean, you know, me and my brother kept arguing and fighting because his girlfriend wasn't trying to get along with me and my mother. So it was just too much. And then, like, she consistently tried to beef with me all the time. So it was just a lot. So I said, I'm not doing this no more. So I left home and I just I never came back. So I was in and out of being with my family and not being with my family.
From the age of 13. Wow.
Yeah.
And during that time,
because I felt like nobody really understood like
what you were going through.
What it really is. Like, they just be like, "Oh, you dealt with it your whole life," but stuff changed as a kid than when you get to like a teenager and to an adult. Things change between that, you know.
Yeah. And during that time of, I guess, instability, am I right that you also developed some unhealthy coping mechanisms?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
About the unhealthy, I started like thinking that it was okay for men to like call me out of my name and disrespect me, and I got used to it eventually. I just started like I had 3 abusive relationships, but the name calling got worse over the years. And I feel like that plays a factor in life now. But I'm getting therapy, so it's kind of like helping me out a little bit.
Okay. What would you say to people who are, you know, maybe they're in a similar situation where they're putting up with a bad relationship because they feel like that's all they can get? What would you say to them?
I would say, like, don't once a person disrespects you, put them in their place, because once you don't say nothing, then they'll walk all over you.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel bad for not speaking up for myself and just keeping quiet when I have a voice and it needs to be heard. And
yeah. You mentioned therapy. Did you ever get to the point where you had to reach out to like a domestic violence shelter or any kind of service like that as well?
I have, but I mean, here in Baltimore, the domestic violence shelter is like full. So
yeah.
My dad wasn't really in my life either. He, you know, he was a rug addict, so he was chasing rugs. So he wasn't really in my life until now. And he's just basically, whenever he wants to be in my life, he'll be in my life for 3 years, and next 3 years I won't see him. It just takes me a little, because I'm like, I asked him questions years ago when he got mad at me, so I just swept it under the rug. Of the questions I had with my dad.
Yeah. So it sounds like, you know, we don't want to suggest to listeners that everything is rosy and happy and, you know, you're still having challenges, but you're treating them differently, such as by going to therapy, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that last year I decided to come and start to like reach out to amputees and join Amputee Coalition support group.
Yeah.
Because I hanging with regular people, they don't really understand, but hanging with people like yourself, they can actually give you good advice. They can actually guide you on what you should do. The feelings that you're feeling are normal. Hanging with people that are just like you, they could give you tips on how to do things in life, you know.
Yeah.
I wish I would have been talking to people like myself.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm gonna say I was like, I didn't know what path to go to.
Yeah.
Like, to talk to people like myself. I feel like if I would have did it while I were younger, I probably would be, you know, better. You know?
So one thing I'm hearing you say, Latracer, is getting a mentor or a friend who has a similar situation early in your life is really helpful, because you can really kind of if you can't avoid, you can at least handle challenges better, like the bullying that you were experiencing when you were younger. And, I think it's so important. This is why we were happy to have you on our session this month, is I also think it's really important for other people to hear real stories, not the successful Paralympian. We love our Paralympians, but that's an unreasonable expectation. Most people aren't going to reach that level. We need to share actual stories of real people, the good, the bad, and everything in between, which is what you're doing, and which is why it's so impactful for us. What kinds of things do you want people listening to this podcast to know about you or to learn from your experiences, like takeaways they should have, or parts of your story that you want to share?
I just want to tell the people that's on the live. If you want to do anything in life, do it. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't, and nothing can stop you. What else? Be strong. Be brave. Yeah. And you mentioned live, and so I'm wondering if we can go to that, because you happen to be pretty popular on TikTok. Am I right? You are. Not that popular.
You are. You're way popular than us, that's for sure.
So?
Oh, yeah. And we are going to include some videos in our recording so everyone can kind of take a look at that.
That's fine.
But what's your handle? What's your handle on TikTok if people want to follow you?
Baltimore Stumpy.
Baltimore Stumpy.
I be trying to do amputee groups, amputee talks, but I guess it's boring. They rather have drama, so I'm still going to do it.
You
whether
should.
They want to hear it or not.
Heck yeah.
Is there going to be somebody out there that wants to hear my story?
Yeah,
Every story's different. I feel like it doesn't hurt to listen.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people will want to hear your story. So hopefully, if they're not already following you, when they watch our recording, they'll go follow her, Baltimore Stumpy. Tell us a little bit about what we might find on your page. So a lot of it is amputee related, but you have lifestyle stuff like things with your kids, that kind of stuff too, right?
I would have to go through all of them and try to send y'all some of the snippets. My daughter told me to go to a park, and she told me she wanted me to get on a swing for the first time, and I was scared.
Did you?
And I'm like, I'm gonna fall. And when I did it, I was so excited.
Oh, okay. We definitely want to make sure that we show that one. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I can try to send it to you. I gotta go all the way down because that's all the way down.
I would love that, and I think that's also really nice, Latracer, is that you share snippets of every day. Your everyday lifestyle, and I think people need to see that. Because although you've gone through a lot of hard things with bullying as a young person and in the middle of your life, and then, having some issues with your family, and then learning how to be a parent and being worried with your first child that child might have an amputation, but even figuring out how to use a stroller, the word I'm thinking of is resilient. Like you still are there, chugging along, and sometimes it's harder and sometimes it's easier, but you're still here,
Yes,
and I think that's a really big takeaway. So
I've always dreamed to open up an amputee type of organization for amputees, but I just haven't really. I need to stop doubting myself and go and not stop giving up and saying I'm gonna give up on this just because it's not going the way I want it to at the moment, and just stick with it because you never know where it can take you.
Yeah. Well, if there's anything that we've learned from you so far, it's that once you have a mission, you're going to stick with it until it happens. It might take a while. And that's one of the things.
I mean, I'm not going to say that that's how I feel all the time, because sometimes I'll be just like, you know what? Forget this. This is just not working. And then I'll want to go back to doing it again.
Yeah. Well, if there's anything that we can do to support you, that is part of our mission here at Amputee Aid. Especially with our theme, Community Stronger Together. We love supporting other groups, whether they are founding, kind of growing groups like you, or big national groups. And start telling your story and being willing to share your story as part of that process. So
that's what I came on TikTok to actually officially do.
That.
But I just decided to have other fun outside of TikTok, which I probably shouldn't have. But it's just all fun, goofing around, having fun.
And that's what it's about.
When I first began, I wanted to get on here and try to uplift other newly amputees and tell them, look, you're not alone. You got me. If you need if you need help or anything, or you need just advice, I'm here to help. But everybody we were doing it in the beginning, and then it was like, nobody stuck to it. So I was just like, maybe, I don't know. But I mean, I just say never give up.
Yeah.
Never give up on what you're going to do in your life.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that people are going to start reconnecting with you, since they've heard so much of the transparent, very raw emotions of your story. And I'm sure you're going to get those connections going.
And being on here, being on TikTok was in the beginning, it was the worst. I'm not going to lie to you. The comments that I were getting and how people were so mean to me is totally different than elementary school. Like, I was really, I had to get off the app for a couple months because it was so bad. They was like, I think you should unalive yourself. You shouldn't be here. Just saying all types of hurtful things, taking pictures of me, put me on their page, pretending to be my friend just to get videos of me and stuff like that.
So
it was a lot.
In some ways, that bullying kind of popped back up, but now you're an adult and it's a digital forum, but you're still kind of getting that bullying at that time. But you
and then, like I told you, like, it's like a awareness page on here. I told you, like, last year, this hand right here, it stopped working. So I asked people to help me, get a new one. And a lot of them was like, oh, you're just trying to scam people out of their money and this and that. And I'm thinking, it's not your money. And I don't feel like it was begging, but to them it was begging. But a friend of mine that is an amputee, she told me to come on here and do it. Because she was like, I think you should do it.
And were you ultimately successful in doing fundraising for your new hand?
Yeah, I got this one here.
There you go.
Nice.
Yep. So I got the hand that I want. I can turn it on. So
we'd love to see it. Yeah. And I think that's another great example, Latracer, of people, first of all, your resiliency, because even though people are bullying you, you still did it. And here you are. And you can control. You've got your processors there, so you can control your hand. What do your kids think of Mom's robot hand? That's really cool.
My son, he loves to play football. He likes when I point.
Yeah.
When I do the pointing finger.
Like the number one point. And that's so.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There you go. It's such a great example of, first of all, using your social media and your platform effectively to get your own health care, but also that this time around you didn't lash out when people were bullying you like you did when you were younger. You're like, no, I'm going to stick with this and do it. I'm not
gonna lie, I did.
Okay,
did.
There was a little bit of that.
It became overwhelming. Like it became over because I was like, you too grown. Y'all too grown to sit on the app and try to talk down on people. Talk down on the person that they was like, oh, you're just using that for sympathy. So I stopped doing like amputee talk because I got tired of people saying it. And it's like, what other platforms are out here that I could go to do this? Because I don't really think TikTok is really for this. Like I got what I need now. So it's like now y'all still talking about I did this and I did that.
What would you say to adults? I mean, I know what I would say, which is probably not YouTube allowed. There'd be some curse words, but also just shame on you, like adults. What would you say to people who feel like they can bully on the internet like that? As someone who is experiencing it, you grew up with it, you have some tough skin on you now, but it still can be hurtful. What would you say to people who feel like they can, be keyboard trolls or keyboard warriors?
I feel like you should listen before you judge. Like, hear me out. Let me talk. Let me share a little bit with you before you just assume that I'm on here for sympathy or that I'm on here to get donations off of my arm, which that's not the case. But Like, I just feel like a lot of people on the app, when they see you get successful and people want to donate and help you or just want to be kind and gift you, they're jealous. Like, what are you jealous of? Like, let me do me and you do you.
Yeah.
It's not your job to make up a whole awareness page of people talking about me, which that wasn't even begging because I didn't get the money for the hand off of TikTok.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is your whole purpose of mentioning me in your awareness pages if I didn't get the money off TikTok?
Yeah. Yeah, it goes to show.
And I would say to any mothers that are in need, create a crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Create it with your prosthetist or a doctor.
Great point.
It's just like GoFundMe.
Okay. Tell us more about that. So crowdfunding, that allows you to kind of harvest donations from people who want to support you so that you can help with your bills.
You go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you tell us. Go ahead.
I don't want to keep cutting you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're not, Latracer. Go ahead. You can go.
Okay. Basically, it's like it's for people in need and medical need.
Got it.
Basically, you set it up. Different organizations like charities will donate to you, like, you know, and that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And you just.
And that's what you did. That's what helped you get your new arm and hand. You know, and I think one of the takeaways, I'm having a lot of takeaways from your story, but one big one I think is that, you know, you never know someone's full story. And so making a smart comment on the internet, trying to bully or make your point, that doesn't help. People don't know your history.
It was a few people that like cash up like me money towards, you know, whatever I needed. Because at first I was trying to get this and I used whatever money that they give me to like pay for repairs, or if the insurance never want to pay for it because they consider this hand as a medical necessity. That's why I tell people to do their research, because if you do your research, you'll see that the insurance company are starting to deny a lot of amputees because this is considered a luxury hand to them. Mm-hmm. People just never wanted to listen to me when I told them that.
Mm-hmm. And you again going back to our theme about resiliency, you stuck with it. You advocated for yourself and you found a way. And going back to our point about bullying, you know, you never know someone's full story. People seeing a TikTok from you don't know your childhood, your experiences with bullying, the loss of some of your siblings, your situation with your father, having to learn to be a mom. You know, there's so much richness there that a TikTok video doesn't share. So if you got a bad comment, just don't say it. Just don't say it, right?
Turn it down, buddy.
You know, in the time that we have left Latracer, because we already knew we have to let Latracer get back to mom duties, because she's got mom duties coming up in a couple minutes at the close of our podcast. And the last thing we want to do is make a 3, a 5, and an 8-year-old upset. So in the time that we have left, is there anything else that you want to share about your story or messages that you want folks to take away from your story?
I feel like if there are any amputees watching right now, I feel like you should turn your camera on, show it. Don't be afraid to show it, because I was afraid to show my arm. And when I got older, I like kind of went into the wrong path because I didn't want to accept this was my life. But I'm kind of accepting it now. Mm-hmm. So I would say turn your camera on, show your half a leg, your half a arm, your half a ear, your half a eye. Just show it, embrace it. Yeah. Show it to the world. Don't hide it.
Ah, what a wonderful way to close out our podcast. Be proud. Normalize. You know. Thank you, Latracer.
Whatever you think you can't do it.
Do it. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. For folks watching us, we will include Latracer's social media handles. We're going to include some videos as well so you can get to know her a little bit better. Please go follow her. Latracer, we will be following you, and we'd love to stay connected with you as well. For anyone else who's watching our podcast, if you want to share your story, please let us know. We're going to be telling folks stories the entire year as part of our theme, Community Stronger Together. and you can share your wisdom, your experiences, good, bad, and everything in between. And Latracer, as I said when we started, you're going to set the bar really high. And you did, because you are real, raw, impactful, and honest. And so thank you so much for coming into this space and sharing your story with us. We are very grateful. And girl, if I have my way, this is the first of many conversations. Okay? Is that a deal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. It's on recording. All right. Get back to mom duties. We appreciate you very much. Everyone watching us, come back next month for another edition of the Amputee Show, brought to you by Amputee Aid, our monthly podcast. Take care. Bye.
Girl, picture day today. Okay, you can get it up. They all ready for picture day.
Hey, it doesn't matter if it's up or it's down. Hey, proud of my hair. Ask around the block with the cool kids. Everybody know we be too lit. Haters can't stop us, yeah we do this. Never second guess it, the truth is we're the cool kids. Everybody know we're the cool kids. And we're super pumped, got the new